So if you look at it, right, as most of them are black, they're not allowed to use their own money and help their own.
Me and the gym have an abusive relationship with one another.
Literally, like somebody beat her.
My leg.
Like if Africa unite as like America and just have obviously they have sovereign states, they will cripple the world economy.
I think I have like a small case of ADHD.
Why'd you say that?
I don't know. I'm just very like, but like really tiny. Like even as a child, I was kind of like that.
There's nothing wrong with it.
No, I love it. I need some boring NPC.
NPC. Something I learned today. NPC.
Yeah, don't live the life. Actually, if you're already an NPC, you can't even help it. You don't even realise you're an NPC, which is totally fine, but you're a bot.
Each to their own. See, nice.
It's alright, just sound effects.
Nice. So how you been anyway?
I've been good, Wade. I've been really busy with my pageant stuff, which has been, I can't lie, really difficult. I feel like a lot of people go into stuff, or like say people's idea of pageantry is kind of like, oh yeah, just doing walking, you know. It's nothing mad, but it's just, I don't know. I think I've been quite quiet the past few weeks because I'm not saying it's taking a bit of toll on me, but it's just been really difficult.
What, managing it or actually doing the things you need to be doing?
So the walking itself is actually the easiest part. It's everything else. Like I've got a photo shoot tomorrow and the colour that was chosen I don't wear, so I'm like trying to find an outfit for that. And then there's 4 different dances and I don't dance, so it's like you're gonna dance now? Doing everything that I'm not comfortable with doing.
But that's good. That means there's growth.
Of course, and I think that's life, is about coming out of your comfort zone.
100%.
And you know, trying new things. I've never done a pageant before. I absolutely freaking love it. I love it because obviously I do modelling. It's literally just modelling but like 10 times better. Because obviously a lot of people know that I built my body. I'm a gym goer, so it's a chance for me.
Gym junkie.
Yeah, basically. I was showing Wade earlier that
gym junkie.
me and the gym have an abusive relationship with one another.
Literally, like somebody beat her.
My leg. It's bruised.
How do you get bruises from the gym, bro? What?
Heavy weights. But it was a chance for me. It is a chance for me to show off what I've built and say, you know what, this is me. Because I never really get the chance to do that. So it's like, hi guys.
So you're gonna win, yeah?
For me, it's not about winning.
But you're gonna win, yeah?
If I win, I win. If I win, I win. But I think it's just been so lovely to be on this journey with the other girls as well. It's definitely been a massive learning curve and it's been really lovely to interact with everybody. I'm not really like a person that goes out a lot, interacts with a massive crowd and a big group of girlies. So it's kind of like, oh, this is something new.
So when's the final day of everything?
So the final day is the 9th of September.
9th of September.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Some lovely pictures.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think you could kill it anyway.
Yeah, I think I have it in me. I definitely think I have it built in me. But since I was young, I've always been that, Mummy, I want to be famous. Obviously, fame these days isn't what you think it is, but true. I've always wanted to be something big. I've wanted to achieve something massive. And I've always wanted to be not a public figure, but to be somebody. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I never wanted to fit in with the 9 to 5 or do a regular job like
the rat race.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Like.
So would you do other pageants afterwards?
For sure. I was planning to do the big one in the Philippines, or even just other ones, or catwalks in general. They're just really fun. They're scary, but they're really fun. Like if anyone ever wants to go to. Sorry. So she. If anyone ever wants to go do them, I'd highly suggest them. Like, it's not even about winning or the big day. It's literally about the journey that you're on. You learn so many wonderful things, honestly.
It's good. I'm happy for you.
Thank you. How you been? You've been quite ill lately.
Yeah, I've been sick all over the place, up and down. But I'm better now. Things are back to normal.
He's back in his well.
Yeah, things are back to normal.
You said you're not 100% though.
Nah, since I had food poisoning, I just haven't felt the same.
Are you sure it's food poisoning though?
Yeah, when I was ill last week, it wasn't food poisoning, but before that, about 3 weeks now, since then, yeah, I haven't felt 100%.
Strange. It's weird when sometimes you get ill or certain illnesses. I know some people who had COVID said that they never came back the way that they were.
I had COVID too. I never came back the way I was.
Really?
Yeah. Since I had COVID, I never used to get sick. Since I had COVID, I've been sick back.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you're the type of person that takes a lot of...
Yeah, I take a lot of like vitamins.
You were taking ginseng at one point, isn't it?
Yeah, ginseng. What else did I take? My bad.
Everything's so like...
I know. It's because the echo. I basically take a lot of supplements in it. That's vitamin D, like even a lot of natural products as well. But yeah, it's just ain't working.
It's not working for you. Nah. See, I think COVID was purposely meant for that though, to weaken people's immune system, especially, not saying you're old, but older people. Because obviously I think the younger people, unless you obviously had health issues, I think they pretty much got away with it untouched. But I feel like a lot of older people, I'd say above 27, 28, I think it affected them a lot more. Yeah,
because I know quite a few people that had it as well, that is like 29, 30, and they ain't the same, and they get sick more frequently as well.
Really?
Yeah.
So I think that was all part of the plan though.
It is. It's some bullshit, to be honest. Probably another one's coming.
SARS, in it. You always send me stuff about this. I swear they're coming up with like a new SARS or something.
I'm not sure, but you see the video I sent you the other day that we spoke about on I can't remember what episode. So Nigeria is actually there's no cash in Nigeria now.
When was this a thing?
I think it's like since the beginning of the week. So what they did, they limited the withdrawal of cash for everyone to $40 to survive. I think it's for the week or the day, but you can't survive off that in Nigeria. So when they first introduced the CBDC, the digital currency, 0.6% signed up, but since they limited the cash withdrawal to that amount, it's skyrocketed over like, I think it's 60% of the population signed up, and it's getting higher and higher and higher now.
So the crypto thing's already been set up and launched, and everyone's on it
in Nigeria,
now.
Definitely is, yeah. I was watching a thing on it the other day, and I was like, oh my days, this is crazy.
Not gonna lie, I think that the end of time is coming.
End of time?
You know how, like, for my non-religious Jesus people, Jesus is coming back to earth. I believe that's coming very soon.
Oh, Judgment Day.
Yeah. Because I don't know if you've seen, like, not that I'm obsessed with Doja Cat, but she's just fallen off the rails. And it's not just her, like, it's obviously...
she's crazy, though.
There's other artists as well, a lot of celebrities. They're all about, like, the satire stuff, the worshipping, and you know how, like, Travis Scott. He obviously had his show, didn't he? His little festival thing.
Oh yeah. It was last summer.
Yeah, and obviously like, a few people died during that time.
Yeah, he didn't stop.
I think that was a sacrifice. I always believe that there is something bigger behind all of these accidents.
I don't think there's accidents.
No.
I was watching a video of Cat Williams. I don't know who Cat Williams is. So he's a comedian from back. He blew up in the early 2000s, and he was saying Dave Chappelle he basically got blackballed because he signed a contract in Hollywood and he made $500 million, right? But they didn't want to pay him because he made way more than he was supposed to. So they said they would give him 10% off it. And then he was like, how are you going to give me 10%? What do you think my fans are going to say when they find out? So this is what Cat Williams said on the interview. He was like, by the time you get on the plane and get back home, the entire world will think, and all your fans will think you're sick in the head and crazy. And by the time he got back home to Ohio from LA, yeah, that's what they put out. Everyone thought he was crazy.
Oh my God.
And he basically wasn't on any shows for years. He basically got blackballed for years. So I don't think there's accidents. And even on the Cat Williams was like, look at how many accidents happen in Hollywood. People can't miss in every single day, all the time. So I don't think it's accidents. I don't think it's a coincidence.
Oh no, of course not. Even the recent, what do you call them? Like music concerts. You know, like with The Weeknd and stuff. It's all very like red and like people going around in a circle with like white clothes on, and it's
like it's a ritual.
Yeah, it's so dodgy. I'm like, you guys are attending these things as well. Like you're part of that ritual.
Yeah, you're absorbing it as well.
Yeah, and it's like, I try and like, even to this day, I try and keep away from that kind of music because I'm like, Judgment Day's coming. And then it's like, if I'm aware that this stuff is happening and they're singing about certain things and doing them kind of rituals, I'm like, I don't want anything to do with that.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I think it's fucked up, to be honest. Like, I know quite a few people in the industry that just say when you get to a certain level, you're required to do certain things.
Yeah. I mean, they're all into like, I forgot the actual name of it, but it's like drinking like obviously blood and doing all of that kind of stuff. And it's like, if that's what fame's going to cost you, like, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
No.
I never wanted fame, to be honest. I don't like fame.
No, of course not.
I like to be financially free, but forget fame.
No, some people chase after that though. That's everything to them. They're like, oh, let me become a music artist. I get all the money, all the girls, all the this, all of that. But it's like, you sacrifice your whole life to do that. You're not going to then sit and think like, if you try and do something or try and get out of it, they'll blackmail you.
Can't get out of it.
No, the thing is, once you're sucked in, that's it, you got in.
Yeah, because you got in one way or another and you had to do something to get in, so you can't get out.
No, because they'll have something against you.
Yeah, and even if you try to get out, most of them, think about it, even like, look how many artists end up being on drugs or depressed or falling off, lost a lot of weight, completely look different, like substance abuse, like medically, prescribed or non-prescribed, loads of them. And I was just like DMX, you know DMX?
I feel like I've heard of it.
DMX he's an artist. He's dead now, but he was one of the biggest things in the late 90s to 2000s. Like, a lot of people, like, DMX concert is absolute crazy. So a lot of people say he was part of like Illuminati and all of that stuff, but he spoke about it because he went to jail because of he didn't pay taxes and stuff, so he ended up going to jail. But he spoke about when he came out about how they made him seem crazy, like he was going insane, all of it, and eventually he just died after he came out of prison. And I was like,
How did he die?
I'm not sure how he died. I never read up on it how he died, but he came out of prison. He was doing podcasts. He was talking about it. All of a sudden he's dead. So I was just like,
no, it's true. When you try and expose stuff as well, they do kill you for it.
And I think like he had so much influence. Don't get me wrong, Jay-Z's a good rapper, but I'm not a Jay-Z fan.
Stay right away from him.
But DMX was bigger than Jay-Z, like worldwide.
Really?
Yeah, he was absolutely mad. If you ever type in on YouTube DMX concert, see the crowd that he controls is absolutely crazy. Like it is crazy. So even with, because I look at like certain research I read upon, like when it comes to like New York artists. So Jay-Z was upcoming and they had to get people out the way. Biggie had to come out the way. Nas had to come out the way. DMX had to come out the way. There's loads of rappers that Jay-Z had to get out the way. Like he did a lot of people wrong to get to the top. And this is why I like 50 Cent, because 50 Cent ain't scared of nobody. And 50 Cent music, it ain't about none of that shit.
No. It's about life.
Yeah, it's about
hardship
exactly. And it is gangster, don't get me wrong, but there's no subliminal messages in it about worshiping the devil and all that shit. This is why I like 50.
No, I agree. He's really good. I really like his music as well, because like you said, he doesn't bring any of that up. I don't think there's any song that
I've
At least
ever
I
listened
can,
to.
yeah, that I can recall
Yep.
that's like talking about, you know, taking the piss out of Jesus and loving the devil, and
None of that shit.
that is not okay.
Nope.
It's a bit like did you hear what happened to like Avicii? Obviously he apparently killed himself, didn't he? Suicide.
Is it?
Pretty sure, yeah. But apparently before that he tried to expose the whole child trafficking ring that was going on, and he shortly like died after that. So it's like these artists are, some of them are low-key trying to get out there, but they can't because everything's just been suppressed.
Yeah, and they're not allowed to do certain things. So if you look at it, right, as most of them are black, they're not allowed to use their own money and help their own.
Really? I didn't know that.
Now look at it though. They all make it to a certain level, right? And all they do is buy mansions. But you don't see none of them helping building a community, like helping their own kind of people, the black people. Like, yeah, they sign people, but they sign 1-2 artists. Somebody would die, which is a sacrifice. And then when the artist falls out and that artist signs people, but those people never go anywhere. And they make a money of that. It's like the deal they make. So the label is making most of the money and the artist is not. And literally, I think it's a bit screwed up the way the systems work, because they can make all these millions, but they can't use it to help their own kind, their own people.
But that's how record labels work, though.
Yeah, they're only allowed to use it to buy jewelry, buy fancy cars,
Flashy.
buy houses,
Make it look nice.
yeah, and waste it. There's no investing. There's no long-term wealth.
It's not their money, though.
It's not. They're just borrowing it.
I feel like that's what a lot of artists don't understand is once you do get signed to a record label, because I've known people, that's their goal. I don't want to get signed to a record label.
It's a slave deal, bro.
It's not your money. You're not ever going to touch money.
You get an
ever.
advance. Like, they give you £1 million. If your album don't do well and you don't sell 1 million, you owe that label $1 million. Like,
It's crazy.
and people get their advance and blow it and think, yeah, I'm rich. And you're not rich, bro. You're not.
It's just basically like how the system works now, though, because obviously we got like good debt and bad debt and all of that, but that is all set up to keep you under their wing. Do you know what I mean? And it's the same thing with that. Everything's set up, which people don't understand. NPCs don't understand, right? That everything's set up so that you can't go anywhere. Your life is controlled. You don't own anything in life. I know a lot of people are like, I want to get a mortgage, I want to get this. You will never in your lifetime, until you're like 90, own that property. And it's on purpose.
But you don't even own the property. Well, in this country, at least, I know you don't own the property. Because even by buying a house, I'll never buy a house. Because I'd rather work in a business. I'll never buy a house. And like, even in this country, say you buy a house, yeah? The house is yours, but the land is not yours.
No.
It belongs to the king. So essentially, you don't own nothing. You own bricks. Bricks and cement, that's it.
That's life to her. The only thing that we ever own is our souls.
Yep.
And what's inside. That's when Judgment Day comes here. All you people who are on like materialistic stuff, none of that's gonna matter.
Yeah, you can't take that shit with you.
No, of course not. And a lot of people, I think that's so sad that a lot of people don't understand that. It's like once everything's done and dusted, there is nothing left.
There isn't still. There's nothing.
Like if you really deep it, it's like, what kind of person are you at the end of the day? If you had none of these things, who are you? Are you proud of who you are today?
A lot of people don't really face that question because they don't want to face the answer to that question. They don't want the question because they don't like the answer to that question.
No, of course. They don't want to face that reality of I'm a shit person who has, you know, I don't want to say nothing going for me, but I don't have good traits. You know, my soul is just my material things.
Yeah.
That's all I have to show.
I can't offer nothing apart from what I can give materialistic.
Mad sad.
Yeah, that's the inside is sad. And a lot of people are in depression from it, but they just wake up every day and like, okay, let's go. What can I get today? What can I do today?
NPCs, though, innit? They're stuck in this mindset. Get out of your mindset.
Don't get me wrong. I've been stuck in my own brain at some point.
No, of course.
It's hard to get out of.
It is.
It is
but if
hard
you're
to
not
get out.
self-aware of it, you'll never get out of that. I think that's why it's so important to have really good people around you, because it's
That too.
like they will wake you up.
I read a lot. So my goal now is I read. I could do better, to be honest, but I read like a book a month. So that's my goals. I read completed one last week, flying for another one. So it's like I'm trying to move up to 2 a month. But it's just one of those things. I think readers are leaders.
Oh, I like that saying.
Yeah. So that's what I've been focusing on. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't always have people around me to talk to. So when I don't, I just read. Constantly read.
I feel like sometimes though, even if you do have people around you, you feel like you can't go to them because you feel like you'd annoy them. Do you know what I mean?
And they don't fully understand.
No, I don't think anyone could truly understand what you're going through. Do you know what I mean? And I know we've spoken a lot of this episode about like God and blah, blah, blah. But like for me personally, I felt that exact same way. Like I felt like I was never understood or listened to. Like you could talk to whoever, but it's like they will never truly understand you because they're not you. They're not in your head and they've never been through what you've been through. Like every experience is designed and specifically for you.
True.
So it's like, for me personally, how I dealt with that was God.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you felt the same thing, but I felt so fulfilled as a person once I came to God and was like, here are my issues. This is how I feel. Blah, blah, blah. And it just felt honestly like a weight off of my shoulders. Like ever since then, I can truly say that I've never ever felt lonely, like not listened to. Like ever since that moment, I've been fulfilled. That's it.
To be honest, I'm trying to get closer to God. It's been a difficult journey.
Do you know what? Spiritual welfare is just the maddest thing. I didn't even think that was a thing. I thought it was just my brain being fucked up. I was like, bad thoughts, get that out of it. But it's actually spiritual
Welfare.
I really hate myself sometimes.
Because a lot of people get turned off by the whole, get close to God. So I have a friend who's an evangelist.
As a what?
An evangelist.
What's that?
It's like, I don't know how to explain it. I don't want to misquote anyone. I don't really know what an evangelist is. But it's like, I think it's a certain step down from a pastor or preacher in a church. Something like that.
Right.
But he always, like, he don't push religion onto me. When obviously, he's a Christian. He's godly. He's a God-fearing man. So when you do ask for his advice, he's going to reference it and give you examples.
Yeah.
That comes out of the Bible. So he was saying to me, and obviously I used to shy away from it because I was like, nah, you're trying to push.
Go away, yeah.
All that on me. So, but one day he was like, because obviously I'm trying to be more spiritual, and he was like, you see the misconception a lot of people have with God. He was like, everyone think you have to be a Christian and you have to follow religion. And he was like, but God is a spiritual being. So you trying to be spiritual is the same thing.
No, it's true.
And I was like, that actually makes sense.
The way to look at it is like God is kind of like your best friend. It's not. I feel like a lot of people think it's like this religion that's like you need to do this and that. It's not about being the perfect person. It's about being the person that you are, good and bad, and coming to God as a whole and saying, look, these are my issues. Be like a friend or a father to me. He won't judge you, and it's just here I am.
Just have a conversation.
Yeah. Like, even if you do bad, like, he understands. I'm talking like he's fucking next to me. He understands that, like, we are sinners. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we sin constantly, yeah.
Exactly.
Constantly.
So the whole point of going to him is to not get rid of your sin, but to admit to your sin. You know what I mean? Give it to him.
And try to obviously change that.
Yeah, of course. So I feel like a lot of people, like you said, have a misconception. And I also don't believe as well to push religion onto people. I don't think that's right. I think people will come when they think it's correct.
Time, yeah.
So I totally understand how you feel about him saying religious or Bible things to you, because it's a bit like, go away.
No, to be honest, I didn't mind it, to be honest. I didn't mind it. There's people around me that didn't like it.
No.
But to me, he wasn't, in my eyes, he wasn't pushing anything on anything because I'm the one that asked for his advice. So it's not like he came up to me and say, you know what, and start like reading off like scriptures to me. He didn't. So he was just referencing his example of his experience through the Bible to what I was going through. And to be honest, it actually helped me a lot.
Sounds really nice.
Yeah, it actually helped me a
Sounds
lot. I'm not gonna
interesting.
Like, the advice he gave me made me see things so much clearer.
Mm.
And even sometimes the advice he gave me was to just do nothing, and doing nothing sometimes the best thing.
Mm.
So yeah, it really helped.
You know what I do want to do though is I've never done it before. Like repent.
Repent.
Apparently, that's quite like a key thing
Yeah.
in terms of like repenting your sins and all of that. I've never done it before, and it's kind of like I feel like sometimes you don't know where to start. It's like I don't know what to do.
True.
So it's kind of like how I feel like some people may struggle with how to do certain things. I certainly do. I'm like, sometimes I have stuff that comes up on my feed on like Instagram and stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, this makes sense now. But I feel like it can be a little bit complicated sometimes, and I feel like sometimes we overthink it. And I know some people are like, oh, I must talk to God in this certain way, like, you know, using good language and posh stuff. And I'm like, nah, he's like your friend.
Still normally apparently, innit?
Yeah, literally. Like, yo, I'm not feeling good today, you know, I feel beaten.
I got a cousin that he obviously don't believe in God because he was the one that was on last time. And the way he breaks it down, don't get me wrong, he's a logical person, makes sense. But somebody sent me a video yesterday saying, I don't know if you ever watched Young Sheldon.
I don't know who that is.
So, okay, you've watched Big Bang Theory?
I haven't watched it, I've seen it.
Okay, so the character, basically Sheldon, he's a very intelligent person in it. They have a show called Young Sheldon when he was a child.
Okay.
So in the Young Sheldon, his mom's very religious. He's not religious because he's like, it doesn't make factual sense. But then he start referencing some stuff about the gravity and how the world rotate and the oxygen level in the world. And he was like, don't you think it's bizarre that everything is so precise that human being existed? That just proved there's a factual creator. And then the mom was like, why are you trying to convince me that there's a God and you don't believe in God? And he was like, but doesn't you find it like it's ironic that everything is perfect for everything to exist? And if everything was 0.1% off, there would be no existence of anything in life on earth. So it makes you think, even though there was a show, it did make sense in itself. And I was like, that does make sense, to be honest.
No, it does.
I do believe there's a creator still.
No, I do, definitely. I think the world is just way too perfect to be the way that it is. Do you know what I mean? It's like...
I would like to read like the original Bible though, which was written in Ethiopia.
Is it?
So it's older than the King James Old Testament Bible. It's like the original Bible is written in Ethiopia. I would like to read that.
How do you read that?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to go to Ethiopia and try to find if it's in a temple somewhere. But
That'd be really cool. We should do a vlog where we go find the Bible.
I was reading up about it the other day because when I was sick, I didn't have nothing to do and I couldn't sleep, so I was just researching stuff. But I do find it very intriguing and interesting, to be honest, because there's so much misconception on religion and Christianity. Like, obviously, and there's different religion. Obviously, being a Muslim as well, everyone's like, there's only one. Like, someone was saying, Christianity is the only religion that call God God. Everyone else, he has a name. In Muslim, he's Allah. Why is it in Christianity he's God? What's his name? I was like that. I can't explain that. I obviously don't know. I would like to find out. I would like
really
to see.
Strange.
Yeah.
God doesn't have a name. It's just God. Maybe that's his name.
Christianity.
God.
That's what people say in Christianity, but in other religion, he has a name. So I would like to obviously dig deep in that and actually see why.
I think at the end of the day, though, they all come down to the same thing. I think people have just, I don't want to say twisted it, but just made their own.
Yeah, I just think the same thing.
Rules.
Yeah, rules.
It's just like, okay.
Everyone, I think they all worship the same creator, and everyone just has it's like different slice to the pie.
Yeah.
Literally.
It's all the same thing. It's just that they've made their own thing up.
Yeah, to suit them and their culture.
Yeah, which is totally fine. Do what you want.
Yeah.
The world's your oyster. As long as you're a good person and you do good, then that to me is all that ultimately matters.
So what do you think of the state of the world now with obviously with these pronouns? How much do you use pronouns, by the way? Okay, that's good.
Can't get me started on that.
You identify. What do you identify as?
A fucking human.
I was reading this thing the other day. Yeah, it actually made me laugh. So, this guy walked into a toilet, yeah, after a girl, all right, because he identifies as a woman, all right.
Did you send me this video?
Nah, so it was.
I might have seen
it was
it,
an article, and I posted it on Instagram, and the dad of the girl, thumped his teeth out his mouth, and then he was like, "I identify as a tooth fairy."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my god!"
Nah, that's joke.
I couldn't start laughing. I was like, "That's fucking."
Yeah,
brilliant.
but the thing is, it's like, who even started all this bullshit?
It is.
Like, today I identify as a chair. Let me not do anything for the whole day. And it's like, everyone has to comply. I'm like, what has the world turned into?
So stupid. Like, there's two genders. There's a man, there's female and male.
Yeah, but the thing is, I remember back in the day, right? You'd have like tomboys, cool, they're still girls.
Yeah.
And then you've got obviously like trannies. That was always a thing. And then you've got like who's the one that wear makeup? The men.
Goths?
Not goths.
Dykes.
No, Rip Pool. What are they called?
Who?
Rip Pool Drag Race. Drag queens.
Oh, drag.
But they're still men. Do you know what I mean? They just dress up as women and enjoy that side. But then I don't know, like, when this happened, like 2020 or 2021, when everyone was...
2020. This is 2010. All this started.
Seriously?
Yeah.
But I just don't get, like... Why?
No one does.
Like, honestly, it just really baffles me, like...
Everyone's saying, well, to be honest, I'm sick of seeing the rainbow flag everywhere. So people's like...
Every time I see it, I'm like, burn it.
Seriously, like...
Fucking burn it.
It's just ruined rainbows for people. Like, even like drag queens, I saw a video, it was over here. This guy burst into the school and to get his daughter because the teachers were in there teaching them, they had a drag queen show going on and teaching them about you don't have to be a male. You don't have to be... I'm thinking, why are you teaching kids these things? This is what I don't understand, yeah? You can identify a fucking lampshade if you want. That's your business, isn't it? Like,
keep it to yourself.
Exactly. Just because you identify as that shit doesn't mean I have to acknowledge you as that shit. That's not my business. I'm not going to fucking acknowledge you because of that shit. And it's apparently it's disrespectful. How is it disrespectful?
Shut the fuck up.
It's my brain.
You know, this all comes down to, funny enough, the Bible and God. You know how they're all saying about the whole fucking rainbow thing? That's literally taking the piss out of God. Because the rainbow signifies something religious in the Bible. Don't quote me on it. I just know that it has something to do with the Bible. They've now obviously turned that into like gay pride and pride this and he, she, whatever. So in a way that's taking a piss out of God.
Yeah.
And they're also targeting children, which was, I think, part of the Bible stuff. Is that they will come for the children because, you know, they're young and weakling and blah, blah, blah. So that's literally everything that's been said in the Bible is unfolding literally in front of our eyes. It's freaking ridiculous.
But that goes back to the society we live in. Like, for example, Andrew Tate is an example. One of the reasons he converted to Islam is like, you can't go into these Islamic countries and take the piss out of the religion.
I know.
Like, you get some serious jail time or killed for that shit. But in the West, they're allowing people to take the piss out of Christianity and thinking it's all right. And that's why everyone's saying our society is a doomed society. Because how are you allowing people to take the piss out of what's supposed to be what you built your culture around? How are you allowing that?
It's crazy.
And it's on national TV, it's on theaters, it's on in movies, it's on the internet, it's everywhere. And you allowing it to be okay. It's just like America is trying to say, I think they're sending, I can't remember where it was, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but they're sending, I think it's 2 diplomats to Jamaica. Now, Jamaica do not condone gay marriage of any sex, male or female. It's always been like that. And America is saying, they sent 2 diplomats there and they want to give them, I think it's sanctimony. And Jamaica's like, no, we're not doing that shit. that's your belief, and you're doing your keep it there, but you can't come pushing on us. So because Jamaica said that, America is trying to deport 2 of Jamaican diplomats that's in Miami when their visa runs out, and they tried to do it to a couple of African nations as well. So everyone turned around and said, so why do you go do that shit to Saudi Arabia and tell them to do that and see what happens?
Yeah.
And it was just like, so true. Why are you pushing that shit on other countries? I don't think that's right.
The thing is, it's fine if you want to do it, cool. That's your fucking business. But it annoys me that people push it onto everybody else.
And it's everywhere.
I know. It's like, mind your own fucking business. Keep it to yourself. No one asked. But the thing is, I feel like if people stood up sooner, it wouldn't be such a massive issue. Yeah. It's only now that people are standing up to it. And it's like, guys, no offense here, but it's way too late for that.
It is. It's rooted in everyone now.
It is. And it's like, don't get me wrong, I see comments on Instagram that have hundreds of thousands of likes. Like, oh, we don't support blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no offense, way too late. Like, cool, you're doing that, but it's not going to do anything anymore. Because all these crazy people, they've ruined it all for everyone.
See, each to their own, innit? But I just don't agree with when they're pushing in front of kids. And it's everywhere in mainstream media. Like, companies are changing the marketing around it. Like, it's everywhere.
Pride this, rainbow flag that.
It's because of is it BlackRock? BlackRock, yeah. So BlackRock owns majority of the companies in the world. And like they own like the S&P 500, some of the FTSE 100.
Why do they all sound like that? BlackRock, Rock Nation.
Yeah,
they're all
Rockefeller.
like this as well.
Yeah, the like the Rockefeller family, BlackRock. They owns loads of percentage of the company. They do, but it's a marketing scheme. I can't remember who was talking about it, and they were saying certain companies have to do that in their promotion and marketing so they can get that funding from BlackRock and that exposure to keep going, because BlackRock controls so much of the market and the market space. Like if you're on the S&P 500 or the Vanguard, BlackRock owns that shit. And or Vanguard or BlackRock, one of them owns that shit. So you have to comply to keep your marketing and your business
going up. It's a bit like the artists. If you don't comply, you're gone. That's literally what's happening to the businesses. If they don't do certain things, that's it. Your business is gone.
Yep.
Bust. That's crazy. I didn't know they was doing it with businesses though.
Yeah, they are. Because if you see Coca-Cola, I think they had a marketing scheme they had to put in there. See rainbows and shit in it.
So it's just been blackmailed, really.
Yeah.
God. Well, I don't personally support it. You know, do what you please. Yes. But I think even certain members of the gay community are like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, because it's not even about them anymore.
No, it's about these fucking... I identify as a table. Like, no one supports you.
Oh shit!
No.
I see the I feel for women that has come so far with like sports and other things where men that identify as a woman is fucking running in like track and in the boxing ring. So there was a senator in America asked this woman, so you know Mike Tyson, right? So if Mike Tyson identifies as a woman, should be allowed to box? And she was like, yeah. And he's like, you're fucking insane.
Do you know what? I really think that these people
they're insane. I honestly think they're insane.
I think they're just, the devil is just lurking inside here and here. And I'm like
literally. You
lot are just I can't put into words how ridiculous and stupid and, you know, how are you like this? Like, so what made your brain like this? Like, the thing is, if you said this like 50 years ago, you'd been in a mental hospital. Yeah, right literally. Now, today, it's normal.
It's normal.
I'm like, these people back in 50 years ago, they would have been in a mental asylum. Yeah. Why is that not a thing today, please? Because you're clearly delusional and stupid.
It's normalised, isn't it? I know that's what they want the world to see.
I'm so over it.
And even my barber today, I was at the barber's and he was like, somebody came in and I was just chatting, blah, and he just looked at me, he's like, there's mad people everywhere, you know. I was like, because he was just conversating and laughing with me and he was like, yeah, he's crazy.
Yeah, but I feel like it's getting worse.
It is getting worse. And I was watching this guy, yeah. I was in the barber's, I was waiting to obviously get my hair cut. And I'm looking across from him because it's split into two. So there's like an internet cafe on one side and the barber's on one side. And I'm looking at him. The guy, he has a phone. He has everything, yeah. The brother And it's not the first time because I've gone there to like send money and print stuff off already. And he goes there every single day, sit down, go on YouTube and listen and watch music video.
What, in the internet cafe?
Yep.
Nothing else?
Nothing else.
NPC lifestyle.
Like literally, I was like, this is fucking insane.
I honestly believe that majority of people are bots and we're living in their world.
Yeah.
Like, I truly believe it because, like you said with your example, it's like, how do you function?
I can't wrap my brain around that. You come to the internet cafe every day to sit down, log onto YouTube and watch music videos from the 90s and 2000s. And I'm looking at it, I'm sitting there today waiting. I was waiting for like 45 minutes and I'm sitting there waiting and I'm thinking, I know the songs that he's watching and listening to. And I was thinking, this is all you're doing.
Does he do it from like when it opens to when it shuts?
Nah. He spends like 2-3 hours in there.
And
Every day
leaves?
does. And then leaves. And come back the next day and I'm thinking.
I'm sure you don't have like a computer at home or something or a phone.
But he's got a phone. I see these phones
Maybe
on
he
the
don't
desk.
have internet or Wi-Fi at home, so then he goes there.
But I don't understand why do you watch music videos every day? That's the part that's baffling me, innit? Like, there's nothing going wrong with going to the internet cafe, innit? Like, people go there to do shit, print shit, use the internet, but it's just like, why are you coming here every single day?
Maybe he used to be an
watch
artist.
Music video. I don't know. I just found that baffling to me. It was just a bit crazy.
NPCs.
It's just a bit crazy. What's your thoughts on China? Do you know what's happening in China?
If I'm quite honest with you, I'm done with the internet. I don't look at what's going on anymore. I got to a point where I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
I'm living my own life. If anything comes to bother what's inside of my bubble, then we have an issue. But as long as everything's kept outside of my bubble, I'm good. Don't come to me with your bullshit. He, she, it's, them.
I'm
away.
just concerned about the whole CBDC currency thing. That's my concern.
Do you know what? At the end of the day, we can't do anything. We can't change it.
You can.
Like what?
Disappear. Don't let the government have control of your money.
Yeah, but there's too many NPCs that are going to comply.
Take that money up. You can put it into crypto. You can put it into investment. You can put it in so much other places. But put it in the bank, it's gone. Eventually, it's going to be, you have to comply.
I don't know. I think the best way out of it is up there.
Honestly, I think at some point, some sort of civil war is going to happen. Like,
for sure.
Like, it's getting ridiculous.
It's like France. I don't know if they're still rebelling to this day, but
They got kicked out of Africa.
Who?
France.
What do you mean they got kicked out of Africa?
Because every year...
Or French people got kicked out.
France got kicked out of Africa. So basically, Africa provide... I think it's 9%... Is it? What was it? I think it's 37% of oil on Earth. Most of the stuff like gold, silver, uranium, all these kind of things, it's all from Africa. France makes 500 million, or is it billion, profit off Africa every year. That's how they sustain the economy. Africa has kicked them out. So we don't stop taking our resources, stop taking this. Like Africa is on the point right now where it's kicking everyone out. It's kicking like all the West out, all the Americans, the British, the France, the Spain, the Portugal. They're kicking everyone out because they're sick and tired of people taking their resources. Because at the end of the day, it's the richest continent on the planet.
Oh, I don't blame them.
I don't blame. It's about time, literally. Like if Africa unite as a like America and just have obviously they have sovereign states, they will cripple the world economy. They just need to obviously get over their hatred for each other and work as one. But they're at the point. I think I can't remember which country in Africa just have a president. He's the youngest president in history to be a president in Africa, and then he's basically steamrolling this and speaking and saying stop believing this anti-African message that they're sending and selling to
it's
you
on purpose.
Yeah,
so you don't unite.
So you don't unite. Yeah. And Russia and the president of Italy, she's a female. She was speaking about it. She was like, she cussed France. So she was like, France needs to stop stealing from Africa. Like she's cussing everyone that's still stealing from Africa. Because if even the Royal Jubilee and all the crown and the jewels, they're all from Africa. The king don't own any of it.
So
It's all African jewelry. It's all African diamonds.
Yeah. So you said Italy. Where did they get theirs from then?
I don't know. I just saw the interview with her. It was like 5 minutes long, but I didn't read into the actual Roman Empire. So the biggest empire, I think, in the world was the British Empire, or was the Mongolian Empire, and I think then it was the Spanish, then it was Portugal. I'm not sure which one Italy was, but at the end of the day, they all took it from the entire world, each and every one of them. So even like in Africa, a lot of people are saying Christianity came from Europe. It's a European religion, but it's not. When the Europeans got to Africa, Christianity was already there. They took that religion and went back to Europe with it.
Damn.
So it's not a European
so it's like
religion.
Everyone literally stole
They
everything.
took everything from Africa, yeah, everything. And like people are saying, like even like I was reading some article and watching a few videos on it with Egypt. Like if you explain, you can't explain those pyramids being built. It's impossible.
No, it's impossible.
Even to this day, they can't figure out how it's been built. And basically, everyone's saying that's where civilization basically started with knowing like all these things, geometrics and all that. And this is why that part of history has been deleted, because they don't want you to learn those things that's basically it's been out already, so you can get advanced. But I think it's about time Africa start kicking everyone out and mining their own resources.
Damn, I didn't know that was happening.
Yeah, that's the guy outside. That's what he's talking to me about. He's like,
oh, is it?
Yeah, so he's like, do you talk about what's happening in Africa right now? I was like, I haven't done extensive research on it. I've skimmed over it slightly, but I'm gonna do some more research on it. And then that's what he was talking about there.
I was wondering what you guys were.
Yeah, we were speaking in patois. So
I know, I was a bit like, I can't really understand this conversation. Not that I was hearing it, but yeah, I was kind of like, oh, what's what they're on about. But yeah, damn. Well, that's kind of screwed. Good for Africa, though.
Yeah.
They should stand on their own 2 feet, because bloody hell, we be taking all this shit.
I've been like, I like history. I've been very interested in history lately, so I've been looking at like the British Empire, where they conquered, who they conquered. Like, this fucking country conquered a lot of countries in the world. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, they conquered basically nearly half of East Africa completely, some of West Africa, some of Europe, some of the Middle East, some of Asia. At one point, the Philippines.
Really?
Yeah, it didn't last long. Malaysia. Who else? Sri Lanka. They conquered Australia, New Zealand. They conquered so much place.
I didn't know this country was built like that.
Yeah, even like America-wise. That's why if you look at America built up from the east to the west coast, because when England came and they took it from the Spanish, which is on the east coast, and they started building up this side of America, they took it for a while. They had it for like nearly 100 years until America started rebelling, I think. Or was it 10 years? One of them, I can't remember. And then,
that's a massive jump. 10 to 100.
I think it was they got the independence in 1700s, and they took it over in the 1600s. So it's not fully 100, but it was for a while. And they built Canada. So the slave built England, and England went and built Canada. So I've had a lot of time researching.
I'm surprised you remember all that in your brain, though, because like me, I could never remember all that information. Like, I'll read it and then I'll be like, oh, I can't remember any statistics. See, I can't even pronounce stuff properly, so I don't know how my brain would cope with remembering anything. So you're quite a history want to know.
Nah, I just find it interesting, isn't it? I find it interesting, very, very interesting.
We should do an episode on it though.
Yeah,
because I'd like to learn. Because obviously, I studied history in school, but I just didn't like it.
I didn't study. I didn't take history. I hated history.
It's so boring. Boring at school. In school it's really boring. Yeah. But like, I feel like when you take that journey for yourself and look into it, when you're actually interested, it's interesting.
I've got a friend. He used to be part of British Army, and
just bring him on here.
He's in Jamaica right now. He knows so much shit. I said to him, bro, you need to be a lecturer at somewhere. Like, he
What
knows
about history.
Yeah, he knows so much things. It's like, what the actual fuck? Like, about the Mongol Empire. I didn't even know what that was until he told me about it.
Come on, guys, we're gonna get him on.
Yeah, he knows bad shit. When he comes back, I'll ask him if he wants to come on.
Yeah, make sure you do, because I feel like that could be really interesting for us and people who watch.
Yeah, I'll definitely ask him when he comes back.
Yeah. Anyway, we hope you've enjoyed this interesting episode. We've covered quite a lot.
Yeah, we have, innit?
You think?
We didn't even plan this episode.
We didn't. We kind of sat down and we was like, what are we going to talk about?
We just started talking.
Yeah. Me and Wade always have something to talk about, though, especially like
That's true.
when we're on our journeys, like when we used to go to fashion events and stuff. The journeys up to Birmingham in like 2 hours.
Yeah.
We used to be just chatting shit the whole journey.
It's a good conversation there and back, though.
You know what, though? That's what I think gave us the
idea.
inspiration
Yeah,
for
the
podcasts. Because we was
yeah.
like, wait, why don't we just film all the shit that we talk about?
Yeah. And we plan to do, like, if we do on the road, we just film in the car, just hook it up. And just, yeah.
I think we should, though. We should make it more of an occurrence rather than just sitting here, because I feel like it'd be nice to be a bit more interactive and let you guys in on what we get up to.
True.
So, I mean, I feel like we don't make this stuff very personal.
No, we don't, innit?
No, I'd like to make it a bit more personal, though.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I feel like that's what makes or gives personality to a channel and a brand.
So they feel attached and
Exactly.
relate to the person. I hear it.
So if you've made it this far, comment what personal things you'd like us to
what do you want to
show.
know?
What we get up to in our daily life. I take a lot of naps.
Me too. I swear.
We're very sleepy people.
Me too, like.
During the night time, though, we're awake and alive. But during the day, that's why, like, right now it is almost 9 o'clock. So
done.
yeah, and we're out here filming.
Yeah, so I'm gonna probably go nap for a couple hours, wake up, go to gym.
Same. I've got pageant stuff to do, so
Yeah, you're living that pageant life.
until the 9th, and then I'll be done for now this year. Anyway, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and make sure to share on all platforms.
Yeah, run it up, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye, everyone.